So today, guys, it's Friday, Fish and Chip Friday, and unfortunately it's going to be my last live vlog for a while, because today my wife was walking along here doing a bit of cleaning, and some of these tiles just come off, some wet in the pool. So I've got loads of jobs to do around the garden, so I thought what I'll do now, going to concentrate on getting these jobs done. And I've got quite a big lot of jobs now. All this is going to come off eventually. We've got to sort out the lights, we've got to sort out the barbecue area, I've got to sort down here as well. I'm putting in a a drain thing that's going to go right across there, because we've noticed what's happening is the rains seems to be not going right, so we're going to put another channel here for the rain to soak, even though we've had no rain. So I can't see anybody on the old screen yet, so you're all top people. Today's temperature, believe it or not, is 20 in the shade, but I think it's warmer than that. Wind's just starting to pick up a little bit. But yeah, I've got so many jobs to do. I've got to do all this over here, got to remove all that, we've got to sort the roof out, I've got a load of rubbish. So yeah, it's going to be, unfortunately it's going to be a couple of months, but I need to get my head around it all, and around the edge of the pool. So we're getting ready for the summertime. So, but what I'm going to do today, I'm going to finish off all the questions that people have asked me. I've got a few questions to get through, so I'm going to gabbling on with that. So I'm just walking back to my seating area. We've been busy this morning. We popped out for something to eat because we're just so knackered. When you get old, people, time goes quick. Anyway, let's have a look if anybody's on. We got 17 in the house, so I can see people. I've got 7 likes. Hey, you top people. So June, walking well. Yes, well, that's another thing, thankfully, that's been resolved. I can get on with jobs much better now. Now my legs, I wouldn't say it's back to normal, but I can bend down a lot easier now, and I can walk around lifting heavy stuff, all the things that I don't like doing, but unfortunately got to get on with them. The jobs are building up, and I am been a bit lazy and haven't been bothered doing them, so I thought get on with the jobs. So what we got, so yeah, today's Fish and Chip Friday, but we went out to the Condado for a quick meal. I had a club sandwich, Jen had chicken and something with chips with cheese, a couple of Cokes, got a cup of tea now. I said it's 20 today, and so to me it feels a lot warmer today, which is amazing. So anyway, today's questions, I've got one from Ethan, Glenn, George. I've obviously got a question from, I don't think it's a question, I think it's more of an inquiry really, from Mike and Yvonne, that's it. I've got one from Bengal Burt, Karen, Martin, and somebody asked. I couldn't remember his name. So quite a few questions really, so I'm going to whack it back on me now. Hey, see? Bit of breeze, this is good. So Ethan was saying, please can you help with this question? If I retire to Spain, do I have to pay Spanish tax on my savings? And I can safely say yes, because I actually had a word with my account, well, not my accountant, I've been fishing around for another accountant, but I've decided now to stick with my previous accountant because when I was chatting to me, a new accountant, that gets confusing, doesn't it? I was trying to explain to him I have to pay tax, quite a lot of tax, because what it is, I ain't got no savings. Hey, yeah, top man, Yogi, top man. I'll buy me a coffee and a bun. Well, Kit Kat maybe. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, I was explaining to him I had to pay quite a bit of tax. The main reason I got 3 private pensions. I'm not going to go into all the ins and outs of it, but so I have to pay tax. I don't mind, you know, end of the day, yeah, I have to pay tax. But what I did say to him, I've got a UK bank account, which all my money goes through them first and then straight to Spain. Because this is my preference. I'm not saying everybody else does it. A lot of people have their pensions paid straight into the Spanish bank and they don't pay no charges. But unfortunately, I don't trust the Spanish banks. I think since I've been here in Spain, I've seen 3 major banks disappear. Thankfully, the one I've been with, CASA, has been there all along, but I don't trust them. I don't trust my bank manager. Horrible thing to say, really, but I just don't trust them. So I prefer, thankfully, my UK bank is fine. I don't pay nothing to them. I just have all my money, so I know where it is, and I just send bits over when I need it. But what I was doing, still doing. I put save it. Oh God, I put. No, I'm not going to say anything about that now. Anyway, yeah, you have, yeah. To be honest, anything to do with money, you need to speak to somebody legal, you know, authoritative, because yeah, you got to. I think you're allowed £50,000 before you pay any tax on your savings. So now that might have changed. And this is why I don't like talking about tax really, because I don't really understand, and this is why I deal with an accountant. And even my Spanish accountant, because I was explaining to him, what was that? Something made a noise then. Yeah, anyway, my Spanish account, because I was asking him why my wife has got private pensions. I know they're all, you know, this is another thing. This is why I don't want to talk about taxes really, because it's not my field really. Anyway, I was asking him about it, and he said the rate. He said you got to pay it, and he couldn't really give me a good enough reason other than I've got to pay it. So anyway, so Ethan, if you got more than 50,000, there's a good chance you're going to be paying tax on it, and that's also if you got property as well. And at the end of the day, is you got to declare it all, because they find out about it. And if you try and hide anything, they'll catch up with you guys. And I've had a few people over the years talking about tax. Anyway, next question is from Glenn. And Glenn said, all right, Sean. Oh yeah, he wants to know how much to hire a car for one of the airports, by the way. Sound vid. Okay. Another one I can't really answer really, because I don't hire a car, because I got a car, so why would I hire a car? And obviously, and the other thing is, depending on what time of year it is, like the season, if it's like this time of year, you could, if you're lucky, and I don't know any companies really, you might be able to pay, I mean, some people told me that they pay €30. Is that true? Or is that all a load of waffle? Some people said they pay like 200 or so. What I will say is, because Yogi's on the line here, he uses a company. Now, this is the other thing, is depending on where you're coming in, see. If you're coming in at Corvera Airport, they use different hire companies. If you're coming at Alicante, you got a bigger choice of cars. Mate, the car company that he uses is called oh God, it's named after a TV program. It's on the edge of my teeth. Yogi, I know you're there, Yogi. What's it called now? It's it's a TV program, and I can't even remember the bloody presenter now because he's left. Anyway, Glenn, not much help here, am I? Ethan, not much help. I'll think of it later on. Oh God, it's about blokes and their cars. It used to come on in the evenings. Um, that's Kev, isn't it? You've been framed. No, not ain't that. Um, I can't even think of his name. He's a farmer now. The main guy that was on it, he got kicked off in the end because he punched his producer in the nose. Wheeler dealers. No, Kev, you keep going, Kev. Um, yeah, sorry, Glenn, you're just gonna have. That's it. Top Gear. Apparently, amazing name. It's called Top Gear, and Yogi was saying he gets an amazing deal with them. How much? I ain't got a clue, Glenn. Let me know in the comments below. That's it. Jeremy Clarkson, the clown. Right. Anyway, next question from George. George, All right, George here, and I have a question about UK banks. I spend a lot of time travelling, and I've done cases I'm out of the UK for more than 6 months. My bank and others have informed me that if I'm out of the UK for more than 6 months, they can freeze or close my account. I was horrified. So my question to you is, how do you get on being in Spain most of the time with maintaining a UK bank account? Are there any banks that would suggest that they are friendly these days? So I know what you're saying, and I've read quite a few people saying that when they're leaving the UK now, their UK bank accounts are shutting down. And I think Barclays started all this yet again. Brexit again, isn't it? Anyway, I'm gonna have a cup of tea a minute. Now, I'm with NatWest, and I've been with NatWest ever since I had a bank account, donkey years ago. But as far as I know now, I might be wrong, but as far as I know, I think now if you leave the UK now, the bank will shut it. But don't take my word on that because I don't know because I'm already here, and I know I had a letter, not a letter. Yeah, sorry, I did have a letter. Yeah, because they do send me letters to here in Spain, and they said because obviously the rumours again with the UK press saying that they were shutting down expat bank accounts, and they said they got no reason to. Now, obviously, that could all change, as always with banks, because banks get taken over by other banks and whatever. But at the moment, my bank's quite happy. You know, I don't pay no charges, and I'm happy with that. And I know, obviously, another thing you can't do, say you're living in Spain now, and you try and apply for a UK bank, you won't get one. That's for sure. But as far as I've been hearing, people that have been leaving the UK, they've had to shut their accounts down. Okay, Ubis is saying, because I know Ubis is in Turkey. I think if you've been living out away from the country, and a long time ago, they're still going. But I think new people. Yeah, I mean, my bank has obviously got my daughter's address in the UK for a UK address. I did ask the bank a while back, saying, well, my actual bank where I used to live had shut down, and they said it doesn't matter. You can have any NatWest branch in the UK, and they're right because when I moved away from Poole to another place, my old account was still there, obviously, and then I know that that branch shut down, and they just passed it on. And I know I don't get any inkling where my NatWest account is. And it's interesting because I got a PayPal account, UK PayPal account? Yeah, good question, George. Um, but obviously, for some reason, they're freezing yours after 6 months. Interesting. So, anybody else? Put it below. Right. Now, I've got a question here from Mike and Yvonne. I got between the lakes here, but I know it's from Mike and Yvonne. And these are the guys that live over at Torrevieja, and they got a holiday home there. And they come backwards and forwards doing their 90-day thing. And they notice that their electricity bill has gone up, despite getting the latest discounts. Now, good question that, because I did hear, as from yesterday, or no, sorry, as from today, they put up the tax again on the IVA, or the VAT palaver. And I noticed quite a few people recently over the past month have said that their electric bill's gone up quite a bit. Now we're going to go down to Maveron next week to the port, because we've been told down at the port the lady there speaks pretty good English, because I changed mine down at Mazeron town, and she didn't speak very good English, and she said to me I had the cheapest deal, and I've explained all about that when I had to pay a gas tax on top of my electric bill. You have to watch those videos, guys, and my bill went from, like, because it's during the summertime, from like 120 to 240. It sort of nearly tripled in price, and it was some frigging law that they scraped through royal decree in the Spanish government, and it kept everybody quiet about it. Anyway, it sounds like now what they're advising now is you go down and change your electric bill every year, and then you should get a better deal. From what people have been saying, they've been going down there and been getting a better deal. But we'll see that when it comes to the monthly statements. But yeah, that's what's been happening for some reason. I mean, I've been here 5 years, and some friends of ours had their electric was really cheap. So I went down there and it went up. So hopefully this time, I mean, ours, to be honest, has been a lot lower than it has normally, but that's because I've turned the pump off for the pool, because I didn't see the point around the pump on. Some people say, well, you got to have the pump going, even if it's just once a week. We've done it before, but on saying that, we've noticed that one of the jets is playing up, so it's probably not a good idea to shut down the pump completely. But anyway, that's just another problem living here. Right, Bengal Burt has asked, is DIY popular in Spain, and if so, are there stores like B&Q, Wicks, Screwfix, etc.? Reference, house poorly insulated, why couldn't you use battens, plasterboard for each room? Okay, good question that, Bengal Burt. Yeah, there is a couple of DIY stores. Now, obviously, the main one is called Leroy's. That's very similar to B&Q. I think it's a Spanish company, but it might not be, because it. There's another one that Brickamark. It's called Brickamark, but they changed the name now. It's like Whoa. Why? God knows why they changed it again. Anyway, there is another one, and it's even got the orange. It's even got the orange colour as B&Q is. I don't think it's anything to do with B&Q. And that one, Brickamark, but it's not called Brickamark now. But if you just stick in Brickamark, that's it, Obermark. That's it, Obermark. God knows why they call it Obermark, but it's called Obermark now. And in there, that's what I class as a proper DIY. It's got all the tools you need, all the stuff that you do need. And I know what Bengal Burt's on about, because he knows that these villas here on Camposol, they're only prefab. They're not. The walls are not very thick. They say they're not insulated. But they don't really, when you go in there, insulation board, I haven't really seen it. And wood, is really expensive here. I don't know if it's expensive everywhere else, but here wood's so expensive. Um, I mean, I'm an old person. I don't really bother now. It's just we got a wood burner, you know, an aircon and heaters and whatever else. And as soon as you turn it off, it's all gone, and you just freeze to death. You just stick another extra blanket on the bed. But I suppose if you're a lot younger, you want to live in there a bit longer, yeah, installating the property. I know some people have done that. They've done it on the outside. They cladded it from the outside. It's very expensive, you know, but it can be done. Karen's got a question. Hi from Lincolnshire. I have a question for you. Is there a bus from Cambersole to the beach or the shopping centre? Good question. Another one that I'm looking into this year. Apparently you can catch a bus on Cambersole. As far as I know, because I'm on A, there's a proper bus stop on A. I think, I have heard it does go over to B to the car park over there, but I'm not going to say that's for definite. But I know that there's a bus stop just down the road from on A, just past the chemist. And I think it runs only half an hour. It's got a big M on it. It's a, obviously Spanish company. I think there's two sorts of bus companies running. I mean, the other major problem with the bus stop, there's no timetable, but you can go online if you're lucky and try and find the Mavron timetable. I think it costs a couple euros, so you can catch a bus from Cambersole, and it goes down to Mazaron, and it goes down to the port, and I believe it goes up to Bolavo. And I met a couple of people a couple of weeks ago. I can't remember the names, but they were telling me they always used to use the bus for getting about, you know, like you said, going to the shops. And then they have decided, obviously, it's great if you're going locally. I think they said it could even go up to Toltana and Alhama to the markets in the week. But if you want to go further, it's a little bit more complicated, especially if you want to go, say, well, I tried it one time, try and catch the airport, catch the train. Did a video on that. Disaster. We drove to Toltana, it's about 10 miles away. You can park your car there for nothing, only to find out they're upgrading the train track. 5 years. I think we got a couple more years left on that. But they do run a bus service, but it got so complicated. You catch a bus from Toltana to Murcia, and then from Murcia you catch a train to Alicante, and then from Alicante bus station, train station, you got to catch a bus then to the airport. But it would have taken us all day, and I give up. And unfortunately, on the way back, I caught COVID on the bus. So anyway, yeah, so you can do it, Karen. Martin's asking, how have you adjusted to the extreme heat in the summer? Does it get overpowering for you, or does and if it does, how do you manage it? As it can be dangerous for your health. Do you have a plan in advance on what you do with the heat? Because we do get warnings, especially any time of the year. We get lots of warnings here, especially about the dust from the Sahara, North of Africa, dust that comes over. Not good for you breathing. Obviously the winds, we've had the winds for the past couple of days, nothing to do with baked beans, of course. We've had the winds, but obviously we get, you know, here you get the extremes. When it rains, it rains. And we ain't had no rain for a long time yet, so we're all waiting for that. But that's right, I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, but in the summertime, God, I suppose July and August. I mean, to be honest, it looks. I mean, I've just turned it around now. I mean, like I said, today's 20. Well, if you double that, so it'd be 40. Even in the shade, it is really hot, and you just couldn't cope of being sat outside for too long. You know, kids like it; they go in the pool, mess about. But if you come outside, you can get sunburnt quite quickly. will dehydrate yourself. So what we do tend to do is shut up the house. We put all the blinds down, so make the house nice and dark. By doing that, it keeps it a little bit cooler in there. Obviously the aircon and the ceiling fans helps a lot as well, circulating. Obviously having plenty of water. I'll jump in right now, says Yubbers. I wouldn't. It's about 12. Yeah, I mean, it sounds a bit nuts, really, but you find you'd be indoors a lot during the day, and then obviously in the evening you'd come out in the evening when the temperatures probably drop down about 30, 30 or 20, really. And they obviously do give warnings about excessive heat, especially for us older people that have problems with breathing. But you do get used to it. I had a lady the other day was inquiring about they're coming over in the summer during the two hottest times of the year, and I said it's a good idea to do that, because I think if you can bear, that hot weather, and I'm talking about over the 40s, then you cracked it by, living here. Some people actually go back to the UK because it's a lot cooler. And it's vice versa, isn't it? And obviously in the winter time, a lot of people come over in this time of year because it's lovely and warm. To me, I think you get acclimatized to the weather as well. I mean, I do feel the cold a lot more now I've acclimatized to the weather here. So even though it's 20 in the shade, it does feel a little bit cooler. Anyway, Martin, yeah. And that's another thing I think people always ask me, why are the towns so quiet? Because a lot of the Spanish people, they won't go out during the day. They're night people. They come out in the evenings. It will come to life then. And I got the last question is put it back on me again. I've got 31 in the house. I've got 20 likes. I've got a bit of dosh from Yogi, my coffee fund. And now the question that was asked, I couldn't find his name. Anyway, he's thinking about moving to Campersole later in the year. What's the reason for the different sectors on Campersole? Right, I've mentioned this a few times, but it's obviously for new people to know what it's all about. Why is it called Sector A? Why is it called Sector D? It's because 20 years ago, when they started building this place, especially A was like the showroom place of all the rest of the sectors. The builders, well, the building companies, I should say, because even though people go on about Massa, a lot of these buildings weren't just built by Massa, they were built by different building groups. But anyway, to make it easier for them, they said, okay, we'll break it up into sectors. So that's what they'd literally done. They broke it into sectors. So obviously a builder would turn up with a load of cement and they'd say, we've got to go to Sector D. Well, they knew where it was straight away. Unfortunately, it's stuck. It's so, I don't like the word sector, Sector A, Sector B. There was a newsletter a couple of weeks ago about, they were talking about Sector E. Now, apparently Sector E, even though nobody knows where it is, well, some people know where it is, obviously, but some people don't know where it is. But apparently, it sounds like it's going through the planning process. I don't think it ever get built on, because what it is if you're in line with Campersole, there's been a lot of talk lately about they're going to be bringing back the planning regs. So building licenses will be put back out again. But what's good about it is some of the empty land dotted around Campersole, they'll be starting to build back on again. And by doing that, that'll put money back into the infrastructure. So it's all going to be, but whenever that happens, God knows, because we're still waiting for the tarmacking from B to D, which has been going on for a couple of years now. So that's why they're called Sector A, Sector B, C and D. Now on Sector A, it has got a name. It's called Los Palacios, Little Palaces. But it rarely use that name, and I think B has got a name as well that I can't even remember. So we just call it Sector B or Sector A. It's simpler, isn't it? So somebody asked me that question. You're top man. Anyway, that's it, guys. So that's it now. I've finished doing my daily vlogs for a bit. If you watch the beginning of the video, I'd walked around the garden here. I'll just whack it back now. Because the main reason, if you look to the right there, the tiles had come off today. Some of them did anyway. So I thought, right, that's it. I've got to get on with these jobs. I'll be putting it off on purpose, really. But I just thought, nah, I've got to get on with it. So if you don't keep on top of these jobs, they just get worse and worse. So that's what I'm going to do. Everybody's saying adios now. So anyway, I will say adios, amigos. I'm not gone, so don't think that. Don't forget to check out my Campus Explorers channel. That's all my going out exploring. That's still going on. I will still be doing the property videos. I'm still doing other videos about Campus Soul, golf resorts. I've got one coming out next week on the Latour golf resorts. Anyway, as always, very much for your support. I'll catch you, well, I'll see you again soon, as they say. Adios, amigos. Have a fantastic weekend.